Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Dick Norris Buick GMC in Palm Harbor, Florida, and guess what? We have this SUV that a lot of people are talking about. This is a totally redesigned 2021 Buick Envision. This is the top trim known as the Avenir trim. But before we get into this luxury compact SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So the Buick brand is going through a little bit of a revolution, a change. It seems that Buick has kind of fallen to the wayside, but you know what? Things are happening and things are happening big, and this Envision is one of those changes on top of the others that we've already brought to you with the Encore GX. Now, if you're looking at an Acura RDX, if you're looking at an Infiniti QX50, or say a Lincoln Corsair, this Envision Avenir would be the competition. But what I want to find out is, did Buick do enough to make it that top luxury compact SUV that you should be parking in your garage? Let's go ahead and find out with this 2021 Buick Envision Avenir. Right off the bat, you're going to see totally new sheet metal, totally new restyle. So starting with the headlight design, you're going to have LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps. I'm actually digging the overall style of the direction that Buick has gone in. And one thing to remember is that even though Buick maybe hasn't been so prominent here in the United States as of late, there was once upon a time where they were selling like hotcakes left and right. In other parts of the world, Buicks are selling very, very well, and that's what's really keeping the brand alive and pushing them forward. But seeing the changes, it's nice to see on this 2021 Envision. But headlight design, I'm loving the style. Now you do have these corner vents. Now, what's interesting is they remind me of the 2022 MDX, Acura MDX, that we've actually featured here on Rady's Rides. The bad news is they're not functional. So I am gonna zonk that. I wish they would have put some LED fog lamps in there, or at least make it an air curtain for some aerodynamic efficiency. It's just a little too much gloss and a little too much on the fake side of things. But going back to the headlight, I love the style, and I really dig the way they kind of carved out this area in the front fascia. Now, as you come across the grille, this grille is unique to the Avenir. So you're gonna have this blacked out chrome finish with some bright chrome finish. So it's a little bit of a mixture of different materials. I think one of the things that's holding back the Buick brand is, believe it or not, the actual logo. That logo has been around for decades, but I think it needs a little bit of a 21st century flair. The outside wrapper of this Envision definitely screams 21st century, but it would be nice to see some change on the actual badging. I think if they would have went more with the dark chrome and less with the shiny chrome, it really would kind of just elevate the overall feel of the front end. But I do like the direction that they're going in style-wise. You have a forward-facing camera. You do have some flat black, but this is functional down below, and you have some flat gray to kind of simulate a skid plate. I wish they would have done something a little bit more on this lower portion, at least on the Avenir. This is their top trim. Let's go ahead and jump up top. You'll see the new hood. I like the way they kind of just fold it down to meet with the grille, and then you're gonna have a peak that rises up, disappears, a couple other body lines, but other than that, nice flow, and definitely does have a Buick GM feel to the hood. Now, as we come around the bend on the Avenir, what are we working with? This one has painted matching fenders and the actual fender opening. Now, if you've seen our other Envision, which I'll leave that link at the end of this one, that one, the ST, had gloss black. I do like the way they color matched everything. Here are your wheels on your Avenir. It's a nice brushed aluminum finish. The good news is it's a nice size wheel. It's a 20-inch wheel. The bad news is it's a little bit on the bland side. If you watch my other Envision review, the ST with the gloss black wheels, definitely looks sportier, but I understand where they're kind of coming from. It would have been nice to carry the sporty, but also elevate the luxury. I mean, Acura is doing it with the RDX and the A-Spec, and Lincoln with the Corsair and the black labels and everything. It would have been nice to just have something a little bit more sportier, but definitely 20-inch wheel does look great on this particular vehicle. And if you're wondering, well, what's the size? 245 on the width, 45 series sidewall. As we go down the fender, everything is super clean. I do like the way they take the body line here in the fender down, and then now it's gonna flow into the door. We got that Avenir badging, some chrome trim along the bottom that I think if we would both agree that if this chrome was blacked out, like a black chrome, it would just look a little bit sportier, a little bit closer to the competition. That's where I'm trying to get. You do have brushed aluminum roof rails. They are nice and tidy to the body. You do have bright and shiny metalwork top and bottom, color matched on the mirror cap, and I like the overall design. Some chrome on the door handles. As you come down the side, this body line here is what really drags my attention and shows a lot of extra depth to the style, especially as it comes into the passenger door. As we come into the rear, one thing that they did to kind of change the overall shape of the window openings is that they put this gloss black here and extended the trim into the rear pillar. I think that was smart to do to kind of stretch it out a little bit. Body line picks up, flows nicely into the taillights. And what's interesting, I'm teeter-tottering whether I'm digging this or I'm not. I do dig that it's all LED. It's just, I don't know, there's an element to it that kind of reminds me of the year 2000, 2001 with the cleared out taillights and the shiny chrome on it. But I do love the style of that taillight design, the illuminated brake light in there. You do have, and I am gonna zonk it, fake exhaust on both sides. I don't know why that ever has become a thing. I wish that they would eliminate that from our vocabulary because it's kind of hurting my eyes. But you do have your Avenir badge, Envision badge, short little stubby on the roof spoiler with a little bit of a kick up there. Would have been nice on a luxury model to get this tucked up and out of the way. But as we drop down, we finish off with the flat gray like we had up front, that silver that simulates a rear skid plate. I don't know, man. Those slots, not really digging it. Definitely gonna have to zonk it. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our Envision. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts. Underneath the hood is an all-new engine. And it's a good thing because guess what? It's gonna be the only engine option across all the different trims. So it's a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, 228 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. If you're going front-wheel drive, it's 3,692 pounds. If you're going all-wheel drive, it's 3,932 pounds. MPGs, 24 in the city, 31 on the highway. And like I said, having this one engine choice, I think kind of simplifies everything for customers, for the brand. And even though it does have a little bit smaller size, I think when we go for the drive, we're gonna notice a difference. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior and see what Buick brings to the luxury table. All right, guys, we're in the 2021 Buick Envision Avenir. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I haven't even considered Buick in years. And so far I'm liking what they're doing. I am looking at the RDX, I am looking at the Corsair. How much is this compact luxury SUV? MSRP, now one thing you should remember and realize is that compared to last year's, which didn't look as good and didn't have as many fine touches, you're looking at actually an overall MSRP that's $1,300 less than the last generation. This one though, the way that it's optioned has an MSRP of $42,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels, absolutely love the soft touch material up top. Digging that wood style trim with the nice intricate design. Very stylish, very selective on what they're doing with their touch points. In the middle, you have that soft material with the contrast stitching, and the armrest is very soft. Now the door pocket, it may seem small in the opening, but the depth of it is actually pretty intense. So you could actually put one 6-inch cold cut combo and a bottle of Dr. Pepper to wash it down. You got the optional Bose sound system. We go to the dash from the door panel, and it's a little bit of a mixed bag. I do like the style of the AC vent. What I don't like is all this dead space. I feel like some simulated stitching or some actual contrast stitching would have done wonders in this area, but you'll notice how far it comes out. There's not a ton of open space, which some people enjoy, some people don't. It's one of those things you're gonna have to figure out what works best for you, but what will probably work really well for you is this 10.2-inch infotainment system screen. Now standard is an 8-inch. You get the 10.2 on the Avenir, obviously navigation, wireless. Did you hear me? Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. You got all your touch features. I like the way it's integrated. I know a lot of people don't want iPad style or floating style. This is all integrated. It's got the nice swipe features. You could go into your climate control all through the screen, do recirculating. You got the ionizer doing its thing, keeping the air clear, keeping it clean. Cameras. Look out front. Look at how clear. This is one thing that GM does so well, are the clarity of their cameras. Absolutely unbelievable, especially with the trajectory, super smooth, the 360. We could change camera views. Look at those 20-inch wheels. Bling, bling. Make sure they're still there and they're still rolling, and we're right back. Let me go ahead and throw it into reverse. There's your backup with trajectory. Yes, you could do the same thing. You could hit all the different camera angles, get it every which way. Look at that. Very nice back out front and back into park. So I do like the infotainment system and the way that it's integrated. A little bit of gloss black up top. We got our start stop button. They kind of squeezed in the AC vents and some real estate, which was smart here. And then you're going to have ventilated seats, heated seats, and dual climate control. Just a little bit of gloss black. The bad news is more gloss black in the center console. Now, most people are probably going to have this door open, which I'm going to say open sesame and open. You got wireless charging, USB-C, USB, and a 12 volt. So for connectivity, they got you covered. It closes nicely. Your passenger has an oh crap handle, so in case you're racing your Envision, say against an Acura RDX or a Lincoln Corsair, your passenger can hold on for dear life. We have the cubby area. So if you have a small purse, a sack, a satchel, a bag, maybe you got a couple New York bagels and a paper bag, you could put it down here. Even if you have that memento that your team, your hockey team gave you, your senior year of hockey, they all signed that puck for you, that winning puck, you can keep that puck down there and relive the memories, and you can kind of hold on to it and rub it and feel really good. Something you could do right there. 2 cup holders. We have our push-pull system of a transmission for the 9-speed. So push for park, pull for reverse. Push for neutral, pull for drive, and then you have manual shift mode. I'm going to go back into park. The 2 cup holders. There's our Buick key fob. Actually not looking too bad. Remote start, pop the hatch, sound the red horns. You got your mode selector button, which I'll show you more of that on the driver's side of things. And then you have nice leather, but it's hard as a rock. I don't know why they went so hard on the material there, but we're gonna go ahead and push the button. There it goes. Look at all the space that you have in there. You can literally just drop the box of Twinkies, drop the box of Ding Dogs, and just eat away. Just don't get crumbs on this interior. This cream color interior, Avenir, hand embroidered by the founders of Buick. And then the material they use is great. Super soft. I wish they would have put this on the armrest. The piping, you got full electric assist for the passenger and the driver. And then on top of that, what else we got? Look at this nice panoramic sunroof. One touch, slides all the way back so everybody could get their vitamin D. The one thing I'm a little let down on is the rear view mirror. I was thinking that the Avenir trim was gonna have the digital rear view mirror, and I don't. That's a bummer. But come on over to the business end. I want to show you behind the wheel of this Avenir. All right, guys, we're in this 2021 Envision. The great news is with these electric assist seats, you do have 2 memory sit settings, so you could let somebody borrow your Envision and you could then just have it set right back. You got a nice little aluminum sill panel with the Avenir name. Steering wheel, I love the style of it. It's just like I said, whoever is in charge of the badging, if they just put a 21st century flair on the Buick logo, we're gonna be in business here. The rest of this horn button's gotta go. I want some stitching. On a luxury SUV, we need some stitching. I do like the way they did the spokes of the wheel, the thickness, the stitching is great. Flat black on the buttons, it is a heated steering wheel. And then you do have paddles on the back to go up and down the 9-speed automatic transmission and the buttons to operate radio controls. Dash, though, is a little bit of a letdown. I was expecting on the Avenir a full 12-inch digital display. You are getting a digital display, but it is not a full 12 inches. It's about 7 inches, which, you know, some people are happy with that, and that's okay. But you do have all your driver's assistance aids, and I could easily scroll through a plethora, a cornucopia of information, analog tach, analog speedometer, digital fuel gauge, digital bar on the coolant gauge, and then you have that TFT digital display in the center. So it's nice that you can get different readouts from different information very easily. You do have a head-up display. And look, they almost like insulted me because they did the stitching over here on top of the dash. You see how I was telling you how if this stitching wasn't here, it would look really bland? Take this stitching, put some on other parts of the dash, and I think you would have a winner. Let's go ahead, let's get to the back seat, see if they're bringing it at Buick for your backseat passengers. All right guys, backseat time in the Avenir. Every time I say that, I want to have like a croissant or something like that. I don't know, Avenir, croissant, it just kind of fits together. But the great news is, plenty of headroom back here. Remember, I'm 6 feet tall. I was 6 feet tall up front. I'm still 6 feet tall in the back. You got the panoramic roof, leather all the way around, decent size on the pocket. So you know what? If you want to put a couple croissants back there, some butter, put it back there. I just would probably put it in a bag first. I wouldn't just drop the croissant back there. You do have heated seats, which is a nice touch. I love hitting these buttons. Look at that. And you have probably the world's smallest rear AC vents. The good news, you have rear AC, but I think I've put stamps on an envelope which are larger than these, but hey, it is what it is. USB-C, USB, and a home power source. So they got you covered with connectivity. Seats are comfy. I like the amount of room that we have. Pull that bad boy down. Now this is an armrest. You know how I know it's an armrest? Because I want to put my arm here and it feels good. That armrest, I don't want to put my arm there. So it wouldn't become an armrest. It would become just a little table. But I got 2 cup holders. Put that back. I'm gonna go ahead and let's check out the cargo area because I want to see how this Avenir drives. All right guys, we got the rear hatch open. You can see the amount of space that we have width and height. It's a little on the tighter side, but you know what? The good news is there's a couple nooks in the back to put that big bag of Lay's chips that you're kind of hiding on the road trip. You do have LED lights in the back to kind of illuminate your way if it's really dark. The bad news is there's actually no power source back here. The good news, though, at the end of the day is you do have a spare. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what is the dimensions on this? You're looking at 25.2 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Fold the seats down, then it jumps up to 52.7 cubic feet of space. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this Envision Avenir for a spin and see how it drives. All right, guys, we have left Dick Norris Buick GMC. We are in the 2021 Envision Avenir. Let me show you by hitting that mode selector button. There are 3 different drive modes: Tour, Sport, which we're gonna stay in, Snow, and Ice. Now, when you're in Sport, you get a little bit of a green checkered flag there. Let's go ahead, I'm gonna slow down just a little bit, and we're gonna go on throttle and see how that 9-speed transmission shifts. So on throttle, here we go. So smooth shifts from the 9-speed. It took a second for some boost to build, which is normal with a single turbocharged engine. But once it got up to steam, we were rolling. So I think you're gonna find that this new power plant that they're using for 2021 is very flexible overall for your commuting, for your driving, for your traveling. Now, feel from the steering, I do like the overall balance of the steering to the wheel. The thing is that, you know, if you're looking for a little bit more directed connection to what the chassis and what the tires are doing with the ground, the competition, some of them are doing it better. Now, the great news is no CVT. You got the 9-speed automatic. You got that beautiful 10.2-inch infotainment system that's so easy to get to and so easy to figure out. They really do a great job with that. Visibility, side mirrors, out the back, everything is super clear. And one thing I want to point out is that it's very quiet. That's why I stopped talking. It's very quiet in here. You're not getting a ton of wind noise. You're not getting a ton of road noise. And these seats are super, super comfortable. Now, the good news is they're not like so comfortable. They feel like they're like a waterbed type of comfort. It actually does have support in the right places. And what's really good is that if you notice on the screen there, it actually allows you to be able to see different features and functions that you're doing as you're going down the road on the screen. So that really is a nice touch to have those massage features. So a massaging seat really goes a long way at this price point. So I'm gonna go ahead while we're kind of stopped. It's a little bit easier to try to navigate with. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a little roll. Oh yeah, that feels nice. So it does have a touch like that. That guess what? In the competition, you're not gonna have a massage seat up front. You're just not at this price point. That's for sure. So I definitely want to give a huge thumbs up to Buick and GM for doing that. As you can see, never a dull moment on Rady's Rise. We got people backing up when they really shouldn't be backing up. But I guess if you stop in the intersection, that's what kind of happens. But overall, all of the places that I'm feeling, that I'm touching, they feel quality. And I think this gloss black area, if you open up the door for the wireless charging, it kind of cuts down on the amount of gloss black. You got the heads up display. And I think your passengers are going to be happy with the amount of room that they have back there for sure. All right, guys, acceleration from a desktop on throttle. Here we go. Very, very quick shifts, very smooth shifts, and it's not really a big buzzy experience, which is good news, which can sometimes happen when you have a 4-cylinder turbo engine, but it definitely gets up to speed very nicely without a bunch of drama. And as you're driving down the road, it kind of closes off the outside to the inside while you're getting your massage behind the seat. Gauges, even with the analog and the analog speedometer, the analog tag, still look fresh. You got that nice digital display in the center giving you all that information. You got the safety features that you want, and the smooth ride, that's for sure. Very, very smooth. Let's see how it handles in this right-hand bend and over some of this ripped up pavement here. Not bad. In this right-hand bend. Super smooth. Very nice. Like I said, I think Buick is making some changes, and they're making them in the right direction. It's just, they just need to fine-tune a little bit more to really get them out there to where they sell here in the United States like they're selling in other parts of the world. But hopefully this gave you a great overall view of what the Avenir is all about with this new Envision. We're gonna get back to Dick Norris Buick GMC and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. It's been another great day here at Dick Norris Buick GMC. I definitely want to thank Melvin, Adam, the rest of the crew, getting us access to this 2021 Envision. This is the top trim, the Avenir. It goes to show that Buick is trying to kind of reimagine themselves, bring some of that newer styling and technology to go up against the other brands. You definitely want to add one of these to your list when you're test driving for a luxury compact SUV. At the end of the day, it's your money, and you're going to have to decide what's best for you when comparing it to the competition. But if you want to keep seeing luxury compact SUVs on Rady's Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, there's actually 2 ways you could do it. Click the first link, that'll take you to Patreon, become a Rady's Rise Patreon member. Second link takes you to Spreadshirt, get yourself some Rady's Rise merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera, working it like a champ, Lori, doing the business. Make sure you show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.